Hello everyone. In our previous session, we discussed about the motivation and emotions. Today we are going to see about stress and adaptation. Coming to this stress and adaptation, first of all, we will see the definition of stress. According to Selye, in 1956, he defined stress is the non-specific response of the body to any kind of demand made upon it. It is the sudden experience. Whatever we faces the situation, it rises to the stress. For example, let us see some video.
What you want, girl, just let me know. You could be my chumma cello. Shawty, I'm gonna get ya. You know I'm gonna get ya. You know I'll even let you be my chumma cello. Yes, I sharmana aaja nach ke dikhane. Aa meri hone aaja pari da girane. Aa meri akhiyon se akhiyan milane. Aa tu na nakhre dikha. Wanna be my chumma cello. 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 Tu meri chumma cello.
Here in this video, what happens? The child irritates the father. He wants to go out, but the child is continuously irritating the father. So, he develops the stress. Coming to the concepts of stress. That stress is a universal phenomenon. All the individuals will experience this stress. Then stress can have both the positive and the negative effect. It will have the positive impact and negative effect. Then stress is produced by the change in the environment that is perceived as a challenge, threat or danger. Stress affects the whole person. In all dimensions, the human individual affects, like physical, emotional, intellectual, social and spiritual. In all these aspects, he affects. Stress is a condition in which the human system responds to the changes. The normal balanced state will be affected here. When person faces the stress, that response is referred as a coping strategies. Here, whatever the stress happens to our mind, in order to get rid of that stress, we need to use these coping strategies. Coming to the stressors, what are the main stressors that affects our life? Catastrophic events, important life events, daily hassles and the uplifts. Coming to the catastrophic events. What do you mean by catastrophe? That catastrophe is a large scale disaster that affects the many number of people and causes the extensive damage. For example, in case of any sudden earthquake or hurricanes, in that the stress will be induced more. Coming to the important life events. Important life events in the sense, if suddenly any bad thing happened in our life, it leads to more stress. For example, loss of a close friend to someone. Then coming to the third stressor, daily hassles. Not only these major irritants, some minor irritants also affects our life. For example, the traffic delays, noise pollution. Traffic delay in the sense, for example, if we want to attend some interview, if there is a traffic delay, we will attend the job interview late. Then it will be the bad impression to us. Then finally uplifts. Uplifts in the sense, the common uplifts are feeling healthy, getting enough sleep. These are all the uplifts. Coming to the stress cycle. Stress cycle, first of all, the stressor rises the reaction to the stress. It leads to wear and tear on body and organs. Thus, it stimulates the reduced optimum health it causes. It leads to the increased sensitivity to the stress. Again, this process continues. Again, the stressor rises, it stimulates the reaction to the stress, leads to wear and tear. It is the continuous process. Then types of consequences that results from the stress. Mainly it is of three types: direct physiological effects, indirect health related behaviors, harmful behaviors. Coming to the direct physiological effect. Here, in this direct physiological effect, what happens due to this stress? There will be the increase in the blood pressure, then decreased immune system functioning. The diseases will get affect easily. Then indirect health related behaviors. Indirect health related behaviors in the sense, there will be the increased delay in seeking the medical care and decreased likelihood of seeking the medical advice. Finally, harmful behaviors. Harmful behavior in the sense, there will be the increased smoking, alcohol use will be increased, decreased nutrition, loss of appetite will be there, decreased sleep. Like that, all the things will affected in our life. How does this stress works? General adaptation syndrome. Coming to this general adaptation syndrome, first of all, alarm rises. Alarm means the body prepares for an action. It gives to resistance. Resistance in the sense, continuous attempts will be made. How we will reduce the stress? How we will cope up with that stress? Finally, exhaustion. Exhaustion in the sense, there will be sudden psychological breakdown begins. It leads to more stress in the life. Thus, this process indicates in these 3 steps: alarm, resistance and the exhaustion. It is explained in the general adaptation syndrome. Coping with the stress. How we can cope up when the stress situation comes? It is of mainly 3 types: emotion focused coping, problem focused coping and avoidance coping. Emotion focused coping in the sense, here it includes accepting the sympathy from the others, seeking the social support. Here we will wait for the social support. If anything happens to us and if anything happens suddenly, we need some social support. Second one, problem focused coping. Problem focused coping in the sense, it take direct action to solve the problems. For example, in order to bring up some classroom to perform some good achievement, they need to start the group study. Finally, the performance will be improved. Third one was the avoidance coping. Third one was avoidance coping. Avoidance coping in the sense, it is also called as escape coping. Here what happens, the person tries to minimize or avoid thinking about or feeling or performing the threatening event. For example, short term threats. If the threat will be in a short term period, if we try to escape that from that situation, we can cope with the stress. Thank you all for watching this video. Please do like, share and comment. Thank you.